Hello everyone, welcome to Script Orlando. Would you like to learn how to become more productive? How many people? Raise your hands and just yell out the answer. How about on this side? Yes, we'd like to be more productive. And I want to ask you a question. Do you feel that sometimes that you are spinning your wheels and there's so much to do and your email is overflowing and everybody wants a piece of you? Do you ever feel that way? Yes? Don't you just hate it? Don't you just hate it that you're trying to catch up and you're trying and you're trying and you just can't? And this is why I'm here to talk to you about. I will share 7 pillars that I have developed and thought about that can help you think about productivity in a better way and something that you can improve your life right now. Would that be helpful? Yes, absolutely. But before we get started to the 7 pillars of inspired productivity, I have another question for you. I'm a question man, right? Yes, there's a lot of questions because this is an interaction. How many people here, by the show of hands, make New Year's resolutions? New Year's, okay, 2 or 3 people. Okay, I'm going to come a little closer and I'm going to look you in the face and I'm going to ask you, stop it with the resolutions. Resolutions, unfortunately, we break them 1 month, 2 months, and 3 months into the year. But that's not the worst thing, right? When you break the New Year's resolutions, you feel bad. And you think, you know what, I tried it, I had the willpower, but I failed, and then you feel bad. Is that true? And I don't want you to feel bad. I want you to feel good and productive after this presentation. So I'd like to offer you a possibility. Instead of making a New Year's resolution, think about it for your next year, or you know what, start right now, because the new year can start today. Think about, not about resolutions, but think about power word. Power word. So think on your life and think about power word for your year. And once you select that power word, I will ask you to commit to it. And I'll tell you a little story how this happened. 2017, I heard about this concept where you select one word for the year and you stick with it. I said, that doesn't make any sense. It's just one word. I mean, the entire year is 365 days. How are we supposed to just follow one word? I said, oh, just wait, just try it. I said, okay, I was very skeptical. So on January 4th, 2017, I went to Starbucks and I started thinking about what is my power word. I started thinking, brainstorming, and I got it. My power word for 2017 was magical. And it makes sense, right? There's Orlando Magic, there's Walt Disney World. It makes sense. In 2017, I experienced a truly magical year. Well, I'm not telling you it was perfect, but it was truly magical. I got my first TEDx talk, started a new business, and met people all over the world. Magical. The reason that I believe in the power word is because words have energy. Sometimes we say change or we say transition. Which one feels better? Sometimes we say procrastinate with your time or multiply your time. Words have energy. Every time we speak a word, we create energy in our lives and the people around us. Does that make sense? So now we're in 2018, and my power word for this year, I'm trying to be less greedy, but okay. So 2017 was magical. 2018 is miracles. Right? Because I want more magic in my life. So it's magical, miracles, mark. It's perfect, right? So I want you to think about your power word for the entire year, and don't feel bad that we're already half past year mark, past the half of the year. Start your year now and think about that word, but commit to it and make sure you get it. Does that make sense? Okay, so let's talk about the 7 pillars of inspired productivity. There's 7, and I will cover every one of them. Number 1, the first pillar is places. Where do you spend the most time? Is that in your office? Is that in your car? Is that at Mickey D's? Or maybe Panera Bread? Where do you spend the most time? Because I feel just like the words have energy, places also have energy and the stuff there and things to do and paperwork. The reason that is so important is I want to share about a morning routine that I have developed. And it works really, really well for me. When I first wake up, I get up, I make my bed, because your mom told you that, right? I'm almost 40 years old, and I make my bed the first thing I do, because I'm afraid of my mom. So I make my bed, and I go outside of my house. And it's about 7, sometimes 6 o'clock, sometimes 8 o'clock, and I can feel the start of the day. Before I check my email, log into my computer, I go outside. And I go outside, and I look up in the sky, and I say thank you. Thank you for this day. Thank you that I'm alive, that I have another chance to try one more time. Then I walk around the house, and I listen to the sounds of the morning. I hear the birds, I hear the cars going by, and I hear the day starting. Then I go inside. In my house, I have a little porch, a little rocking chair. So I get into my rocking chair, I sit down, and I say a little prayer. I say prayer, again, thank you for this day, but I also ask myself this question. I say, what is my intention for this day? What do I want to accomplish? Do I need to make 5 phone calls? Do I need to finish my PowerPoint presentation? Do I need to create this file? Just one intention for this day. Before I start getting into my computer and start working or making phone calls, what is my intention? So that have helped me to become more productive. So I slow down to achieve more. And it all starts in places in your life. And you have to think about those that either take you further in productivity journey or take you back. Does that make sense? So would you like to know what pillar number 2 is? Yes. Okay, so first one was places. The second one is one of my favorite ones, is people. That's surprising, right? Well, not so. Did you hear that, according to the literature, from your source, is that you are the average of 5 people you spend the most time with? You pick up their habits, they pick up your habits, they pick up your energy, you pick up their energy, you become each other's vocabulary, you become best buddies. You are an average of 5 people you spend the most time with. So look in your life and determine who are those people. Who are the people you spend the most time with? Who are you doing business with? Who are you looking forward to see? On the other side of this coin is, who are the people in your life that you need to spend less time with? Maybe let go. I think one of the hardest things you have to do in your life is to let go of partnerships and relationships and alliances that no longer serve either one of you, or not at this time. So think about that. Who are the people in your life that move your life forward, keep you in the same place, or take you back? The other part about people is that as one person, I'm in business for myself, I'm an entrepreneur, and a lot of times I'm only one person. It's a blessing and it's a curse. So in order to move my productivity forward, I have to get people on my team. And how do you get people to buy into your vision? How do you do it? Oh, any guess? What is it? Hit them over the head? I have tried that. And there was only injuries, and I have to keep going. I would say, if you want to get people to buy into your vision and get more productive, speak with passion about what matters to you. When you speak with conviction and passion about things that matter to you, people buy into you, into your work, and you move forward together. I'll tell you a little story that happened to me a few years ago. I'm very active on LinkedIn, social media platform. It's for professionals to get business connections and alliances. And a few years ago, I was browsing through the suggested people to connect with. There was these 2 people from Wisconsin. Looks like they're business professionals, and say, okay, hello, I'm nice to meet you on LinkedIn. Let's see if we can work together. From Wisconsin, we live in Florida. I'm never probably going to see them again. The interesting thing that happened to me, a few months after I made that connection on LinkedIn, I saw both of these 2 people walk into my classroom of the club that I belong to, and they just saying, Mark, is that you? I said, yes, Lisa and Joe. You never know the impact and connections you will make throughout the world. So don't be a jerk. Speak with passion about things that matter to you to make sure that people buy in, because you can become more productive together as a team versus then person by yourself. Wouldn't you agree with that? So we talked about places. We talked about people. The third pillar of inspired productivity is purpose. We love to talk about purpose, don't we? We're obsessed in the United States and Canada about purpose. We need to talk about purpose because purpose moves everything that we do. But I think the better question is, do you know what your life's purpose is? My friend Johnny Campbell talks about purpose, about serving others. But what I'm going to ask you to do is, do you know, in addition to that, what is your purpose in life is? Not what your parents have told you, your partners, your business associates, but your real purpose. And I want to start you on this journey, just to think about this. When you connect to your purpose, I think you will feel the heartbeat of the universe. And it starts with you. Let's start this exercise, yes? If you're willing to participate. Take your hand, left or right, I don't know, whatever one you like. Okay, take the right hand, okay? Put it on your heart. Feel it. Feel the heartbeat. Feel that? That's the start of your purpose. You are here for a reason. You are here to serve and to give your gifts in the best way you can. Sometimes you don't want to. Sometimes you don't feel like showing up. But feel the beat of your heart. That's the start of your purpose. And you can do this every day and share it with the people that you care about. Does that make sense? Another thing about purpose is, a lot of times we talk about purpose and happiness and how those things interact. And I want to share with you a story about finding your happiness and purpose. I have a friend, Beverly. She's a wonderful woman, full of energy, very enthusiastic and very supportive of me. One day she asked, Mark, what does happiness means to you? I looked at her and said, Beverly, I don't know. These are just tough questions. I'm just here for the ride. But then I started thinking about it, and I said, happiness, for me, is seeing joy in the eyes of the people I love, in the eyes of the people I care about. That is part of my purpose, part of finding my happiness. So what I will invite you to do is to think about your purpose. Think about that thing that drives you, gets you out of bed, and gets you to where you're going. Does that make sense? And I hope you find your purpose, because that's one of the biggest parts to the inspired productivity. So we talked about places, people, and purpose. Next one is, any guesses? You probably have no idea what I'm going to talk about. Another P, that's correct. The other one is patience. The Rome was not built in one day. We have to do a lot of work to get some meaningful work. A lot of times we feel that we need to give up, right? Because we try it every day, we wake up, we do the work, we go through the motions, and we don't get things done. How do I know that you need to be patient? How many people here have heard about Leonardo da Vinci? Okay, okay. There's this painting that he did, right? The Mona Lisa. You remember that one? Like with this interesting, mysterious smile that captivates the heart of all the art lovers everywhere. Did you know that it took him 16 years to create that painting, perfect it? Okay, I'm going to say it one more time. 16 years, people. 16 years to create a masterpiece. A lot of times we say, you know what? I'm just not good enough. I don't have the skills. I don't have the patience. I don't have the time. And this just doesn't work out. Maybe. But what I'll ask you to do is not yet. Keep going. Keep doing. Keep pushing. There's perseverance. There's patience until you get to where you're going. 16 years to create. And then he has a masterpiece. Does that ring true with everyone? Yes? Another thing is, how many people here have heard about Mozart? Right? Mozart, right? Did you know that he started writing music when he was only 4 years old? 4 years old, then he passed away mysteriously at the age of 35. And over a period of his life, he created over 600 musical compositions. 600. But the ones that really truly capture people was not until composition number 271. He was 21 years old. That's about 40% into his output. So how much time he had to spend time in patience, in learning, and perseverance until he became who he became. Have patience in your heart and where you're going. That's also at the heart of productivity. So will you be more patient? Okay, I don't see that. You try it, and try it until you get it. So we talked about places, people, purpose, and patience. Next one is process. What are the processes you have in your life? What are the processes that get you the result that you want? I'll talk about myself. In practice, as a public speaker and entrepreneur, to be successful, you have to make sales, right? You have to have leads, sales, conversions. How many people here love sales? Love sales. Like, you know what? Okay, not the sales at Macy's on shoes and you know, on the footwear. I'm talking about making sales, right? I'm talking about picking up the phone call, actually picking up the phone and calling the prospects and say, "Hi, my name is Mark. I'd like to come to your conference and speak about this topic." I'll bet you that very small percentage actually love sales. And in order to be successful in my business and many others, you have to generate sales on a consistent basis. And a lot of times when I don't make sales, I don't eat. But in order to be successful, you have to create a practice, and you do it again and again and again. So after a while, you become an expert. You find a way, maybe there's something in your mind or in your heart that sales is a negative thing. Find a new definition of sales. The one I really like is that sales is transfer of inspiration. Pick up the phone and make the phone call. Have 50, 60, 100 rejections in 1 week, but you get that one sale, build on it, and keep going. You have to have a practice to be really productive. Does that make sense? Next P is power. And in power, I talk about the power of two-letter word. One of my favorite words in the English language. Anyone can guess what that word is? No! No! That's correct! It's very efficient. Let's say somebody calls you and say, "Mark, I need you to do this project for me. I need it to do today. And you know what? I would appreciate it if you do it in this and this parameters." What do you think is my answer? No. Did you know that no is a complete sentence? I want you to practice with me one more time. Let's all together say no. That's right, because you have to reclaim your time and find what you truly, truly, truly want. Did you know that email is a convenient way to organize other people's agenda? Not your agenda, but to organize other people's agenda. When you learn to say no, in the eyes of the people who ask, you become more strategic. Better yet, you become a strategic thinker. They will respect you more, and they will respect your time. But a lot of times, we cannot say no. We're so afraid of it. That's why I give you this practice here at this presentation, so it will be easier for you outside. Okay. And finally, the final pillar of productivity is practice. Knowledge without application is ignorance. I have talked to you about places and people and purpose and patience and process, but if you don't implement none of those, you will be less productive. You will be in the same place a year from now where you were when you were a year ago. Think about the power word. Think about where you're going, about your purpose, and go and try it. And I want to talk about purpose just here in the conclusion. A lot of times, I have seen my coaching clients and the people that I work with, a lot of times when we are less productive, it's because we are afraid to ask for help. We're afraid. We don't want to look stupid. We don't look less competent. And we just maybe have ego. I will implore you to start asking for help even more than you feel comfortable. Some people will say no because they heard me speak before, but you keep going and you ask for help. I think asking for help is the highest form of courage. And with courage, as a virtue, you make all the other virtues possible. Open up, ask for help, become a productivity genius because you're worth it. Thank you so much.